Hello, pilots, and welcome back to Season 3 of Flight Academy. As always, my name is Phil, and today we have Game 9 of Group 2 for you. The format rules are in the description below, but joining me for this we have...
My name is Fraser, and it's great to be back. Thank you for having me, Phil.
No worries, Fraser. Welcome back. This is, in fact, the group you're in, so
It was.
I think at this point you're quite familiar with both of your opponents here. Would that be correct in saying?
It is fair to say these guys were amazing on the night, and I had great fun playing both of them.
Yes, it was really good fun. In fact, I think your group had the most newcomers to Flight Academy of any of the three groups, but they all brought some interesting tricks to the table. But let's run through the ships that they brought through to the table. So what has Gruff got for us on the left?
So he has brought Darth Vader in his TIE X1, and he has fire control systems and afterburners. And
I
that's
think that is a great combination for 75 points, to be honest.
You don't need anything more. I mean, in terms of Darth Vader, if you got points spare, you take those two, and if you can fit Malice on there, I'd be happy. But you don't need it.
No. In a 1v1, I think you're right. I don't think you need it. He's a solid choice. And on the other side, we have Rich, and he is flying Sunfac in the Nantex with Graphitic Deflection and Ensnare. Again, all you can actually fit on the Nantex in a 2.0 build, because he only has 2 talent slots.
He does.
So, nice light ship, but again, those talents just complement Sunfac completely. Tractor, passing tractors off, re-rolling, adding dice, doing all crazy shenanigans. It's
classic
an interesting
Nantex.
ship. Yeah, it is. And you know what? It's actually quite nice to have the Nantex on the table. Other than this series of Flight Academy, I think we've only had them on the table once before, and that was post nerf, actually. So it was before it was just the 4 Nantex build, thankfully, because they were a bit interesting.
They were a bit interesting. There was a bit of a period where they were a little bit too good, and I think some people might debate now they're a little bit too bad, but I've not seen that.
Well, in 2.5, they have, again, some of their tricks, like tractor isn't as powerful as it used to be, etc. But, I mean, Sunfac in 2.5 can have 3 talents and a modification, so suddenly you're going Graphitic Deflection, Ensnare, another talent, whatever, and then you can actually stick Targeted Computer on there to give him a lock, which I think is actually a big help.
It is a big help. It was a weird one, because I believe in the original pack you actually got Targeting Computers as a mod, but you originally could only have it on the I2, Orgle, I want to call him. Comment to me. No, wrong, it's fine. No, it's fine.
I genuinely can't remember. I mean, I got it. I think I got the pack about 2 years ago, and to be honest,
it's a long time, isn't it? How long have they been out?
They've been out quite a while. They were one of the earlier releases for Separatists, if I remember.
Yeah.
I think they were like 3rd wave for Separatists, so they've been around for quite a while now. So it's gathered a lot of dust on my shelf. Let's put it that way.
Oh yeah, it's still. I still think it's a great ship. It's a great little fighter. I would say, in fact, potentially a lot of the problems come from working out what to put with it. Who do you button him up with? But still a great ship. And Rich, actually, I will say, flew him really well. Every game I played with him was gripping and great fun. Yeah. And same with Gruff, actually. Our first game, I think we had. I mean,
it was good fun.
Yeah, I can't score the scores, can I?
Well, we've already had the first game up. In all fairness, I can't remember. think that it was really close, and I think unfortunately, I can't. To be honest, I can't remember. I've seen so many games now. I mean, at this point, with this being game 9 of Group 2, something like 20. I think this would be the 20.
Yeah, I didn't
game
come out on
going up.
top on my first game with Gruff, but
Yeah.
And I can't remember if I came up top with Ridge on my first game, but we had some.
I mean, what's interesting about Sunfact though is just the amount of planning you've got to do to be able to pull off his tricks with his turret, because that's where a lot of the tricks come in, and you've got to really think ahead about how you want to have that. You can't just sort of go, right, I'm going to have the turret facing them the whole way, because then you don't get your tractor, because you need to tractor and rotate to be able to actually get it all to pull off, which is where I think it makes it quite tricky. There's so many things it can do. I think it's just a
tractor, rotate, and do you need to have the ship you're going to shove it over to in your turret arc?
It has to be in one of the arcs, yes.
I think so,
It would have it more like the turret arc, because obviously you only have a bullseye in the front.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it was one of the first ships to introduce like a solo bullseye with no normal arc. But we've got our first lot of shooting, just one hit, and no evades, unfortunately.
Oh, goodness.
Or
with all those dice.
Yeah. But returning fire, that's not great. Nothing there, unfortunately.
No, unfortunate. Hopefully not the end of the world. I don't think it's the end of the world. I think this is I like to call it the beginning dancey. I don't know what I'm saying. Just a little nice shot to start off with. Nothing too crazy. You don't want to go heavy. You want to hold off a little bit.
I mean, I know we're just over 11 minutes in, but it's still fairly early. It's their first engagement, and so many things can happen off the back of this. I mean, both of these ships are potentially quite nimble, especially with afterburners on Darth Vader. That thing can actually really move.
Oh, that's a nimble ship, yeah.
I like afterburners on Vader because it's the only way you can get that boost, and it's something that when I'm flying the X1, I'm always looking for the boost symbol. I'm like, it doesn't have boost, and it always feels really bad that you don't have that.
I do like the afterburner because it as that option, it makes you play boost a little bit less.
Yeah, it's definitely more situational. You only get 2 charges on it.
You don't use it so freely, if you know what I mean. You're thinking,
especially with Vader anyway and his force. If he had an inbuilt boost, it could be quite rude because, I mean, in theory, he could just go, right, I'm going to boost, barrel roll, focus. I'm going to be an interceptor of old with push the limit.
Well, so it's exactly that, yeah.
It would be absolutely brutal. It would absolutely starve Vader of force, though. But hey, it'll be funny.
But that's still a great play, and you can do it. You just have to pick your moment. I mean, I have had some very nice games where I've just done a little bank one in, and then I just barrel roll out of the arc, and then I spend a force because the afterburn doesn't react to your force, and then you just get your little lock and blow your enemy to pieces.
Absolutely, but looks like we're going to get a turnaround here. No turnaround from Vader. Okay.
A non-aggressive Vader.
I'm surprised by that because I would have expected the Talon to come back in there.
Yeah, I mean, in this kind of game, they're both quite fast, and I'm pretty sure we could easily have another engagement, but I don't think there's the time to play it quite as safe in this situation.
Yeah, and I think that's something that you're actually quite familiar with from season 2 with Rick Olay. And I
Yeah.
know I think that's where you struggled a little bit. You wanted to be doing those speed 3 maneuvers, getting that evade for Rick, and then it just put you in a difficult position because you couldn't really
Couldn't really
stick in
shoot
there.
anything. Yeah.
You definitely have much better luck with Echo in
I think I
season
had
1.
better luck with Echo, and I would say I had better luck with
Grand
Jason,
Inquisitor.
or Rupert, depending on how you want to look at it. This time.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Grand
I
Inquisitor
agree.
was a good pick. Grand Inquisitor was a good pick, I will say.
I'm annoyed because I want to use him again.
Well,
He
maybe we'll reset the playing field in a future season. Obviously, if I keep saying you can't use ships you've used before, we're going to get to the point where no one can use anything if we make it to that many seasons.
It'll be interesting what happens when we actually get to that point. How long can we stretch it out?
Yeah, you just have everyone running generics.
Yeah, well, that's probably the point. When you get generics, that's when we've got to set the restriction on you can't fly what you've already flown.
And I think it's unfortunate because generics just you can't really do much with them anymore.
Yeah,
Well,
I
if we
know.
continue with 2.0 builds, then they're not too bad. But it looks like we are actually going to get an engagement here.
Oh yeah.
Gruff has the lock on Rich. Does he still have an afterburner? Does he want to? No, he's actually has spent both charged and afterburners. The overlay's just not updated. But oh, good barrel roll. I think that gets him out of the bullseye, which means that this is a free shot for Vader there.
That would be great. That would
Because the
just
arc
strip
is
another hull point off, and that's all you need.
yeah.
I don't think we're going for a kill here. I think we're just trying to get that single hit point off.
I mean, a kill would be very impressive, but it looks like just checking it. So range 3 with the target lock. So the additional dice, turning 1 to a crit, add a focus. Gonna have to spend fire control. Focus.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, this. I mean, you'd think that Rich would be fine, and that's 3 of 8. Rich is absolutely fine.
Amazing. That's amazing roll.
I don't know what it was about Night 2, but the amount of high evade rolls that we've seen. There were 3 quad evades on Night 2. It was
I rolled a lot, I remember.
Yeah. And even Madbots and Connor were actually just playing a regular game on the other table, and Madbots got a quad evade as well. And I was just like,
as well, yeah.
I was just like, what is happening with the green dice tonight? Why was it not like that in Night 1 for me?
In fairness, we all know what happens if we get a day where all our dice are coming up trumps, then the next time they're all going to come up Donald Trump.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, that's a nice bit of play there from Rich. Can he get 3 hits in? The arc is in the left, or pointing up the board. I think he's got range 1 on Vader.
That would be a nice little corner if he's got it.
I think Gruff is still debating what actions to use here. Possibly a barrel, knowing that it's the last round, a barrel roll up the board to get out of range 1, followed by a focus, I think would be a very good play.
You're either going to go right or left. You're not going to sit there. Well, actually, maybe you would. It's not a terrible place to be.
You definitely wouldn't want to go down the board because you'd be getting bullseye.
Avoid the bullseye. If you're going to go left, you get.
Oh, hold on. Has he? No, he's just been caught. I thought he'd managed to get into that really small, like 45-degree pocket angle of not being in either arc, which would have been crazy.
That would have been amazing.
Oh, looks like 1 damage going to go through, spending that focus. So just the 1. So neither ship on half points at this stage. So we do go to Final Salvo. As you said, there's no extra time in the group stages because we barely had time as it was. Final Salvo, printed dice, 1 hit for Gareth, and that is much better result there for Rich. So Rich actually does sneak that win there.
Wow, amazing.
So very tentative play, but a good result there for Rich. So let's have a look and see how that actually shakes up the Group 2 table. So coming in at the top at the moment, we have Scott with Jack Porkins. He's been absolutely insane. 3 wins, 3 kills, 12 points. You're currently in second, 2 wins, 2 kills, and 8 points.
Yes, go me.
Gruff is in third with 7 points. That puts Rich on 6 points. So they still have 1 game apiece. Yourself and Scott still have 2 games, but one of them is against each other. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Oh, I tell you, it was good.
Well, we shall find out a little bit later on today. But Fraser, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
And guys, don't forget, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you next time.